It was first started in New Zealand and Denmark in 1972. Okay, first started in New Zealand and Denmark in 1972. In India, it came as NGCMA, meant NGCMA, it came as that, meant National GLP Compliance Monitoring Authority. So in India, it came as National GLP Compliance Monitoring Authority under the Ministry of Science and Technology. It was established by the Government of India in April 2002. Okay, in April 2002, it came in India as NGCMA. Its members are one chairman and other members are the secretaries of concerned department. Okay, and the chairman is the secretary of Department of Science and Technology. So the Science and Technology Department Secretary is the chairman of NGCMA. And its headquarters is in New Delhi. So now we talk about its principle, that what are the principles of GLP, what is the basic function of GLP. GLP meant it is an FDA regulations. Okay, it is an FDA regulations. It is a set of principles that provide a framework within which laboratory studies are planned, performed, monitored, archived, and reported. Non-clinical, environmental studies, it takes about that. So it is an FDA regulations. So now talking about the principles, principles are provided by OECD. So OECD, it provides the principle. Organization of Economic Cooperation Development, it provides the principles of GLP. And the first principle is about the test facility organization and personnel. First principle is the test facility organization and personnel. So it provides the responsibility to test facility management, study directors, principal investigators, and study personnel. So it provides the responsibilities to that. And what are the responsibilities of all of these? The test facility management responsibility is that a document control system is in place. It takes care about the document control system that is in place. Second, it takes care about purchase material meets specified requirements. That the material we purchase, it meets the specified requirements. Thirdly, it takes care about the clear lines of communication should exist, that the lines of communication should be clear. Fourthly, it takes care about the computerized systems are suitable for intended purposes. Okay, so all of these four responsibilities are of test facility management. Second responsibility is of study director. Study director responsibility is what? Study director responsibility is to ensure that raw data are recorded. Raw data should be recorded. SOPs, meant standard operating procedure, should be followed. Deviation should be acknowledged. So all these are the responsibilities of the study director. Thirdly is the principal investigator responsibilities. What are the responsibility of principal investigator? So principal investigator responsibility is that educate, training, and supervision of the entire research team. It takes care about the training and the supervision of entire research team. It takes care. Fourthly is study personnel responsibility. Study personnel responsibility is that it takes knowledge of GLP principles. It assesses to SOP. It records raw data. It exercises health precautions to minimize risk. Okay, it records health precautions to minimize risk. It ensures integrity of study. So all these are the responsibilities of these four. So that is the first principle, that is a test facility organization and personnel, in which it provides the responsibility to their respective departments. Next principle is about the quality assurance program. Now what is the responsibility of the quality assurance program, or what is the program? That is that this program maintain copies of all approved study plans and SOPs. So it maintains copies of all approved study plans and SOPs. Okay, standard operating procedure. SOPs means standard operating procedure. It verifies that study plans contain information required for compliance with GLP. So it verifies, okay, it verifies that study plans contain information required for the compliance with GLP. Okay. It conducts inspection also. Quality assurance program, in this program, this program conducts inspection also. There are 4 inspections which are conducted. That is, first is study-based inspection. Second is facility-based inspection, that what type of facilities are provided, is the facilities provided are correct or not. Thirdly is the process-based inspection. So 3 inspections are, first is study-based, second is facility, third is process-based. So all the 3 are the inspections which are conducted by the GLP, that in quality assurance program. So that is the program which is conducted. Third principle is about the facilities. So third principle about the facilities. In facilities, it takes care about the suitable size, construction, location should be provided, okay, for equipments or for any other purposes. It takes care about the isolation of test system and individual projects to protect from biological hazard. Okay, it provides suitable rooms for diagnosis treatment, and it controls the diseases also, and it provides a storage room also. So these are the facilities which are provided in GLP. Good laboratory practices provide these facilities. So next principle is about the apparatus, materials and reagents. What are the apparatus? It takes care that apparatus should be of approximate design and of adequate capacity. Okay, so that is it takes care about that the apparatus is of approximate design and of adequate capacity. It takes care about the chemical reagent. Okay, in reagents it takes care about the chemical reagent, and solution should be labeled, so that to indicate why should it be labeled, to indicate identity, expiry and storage. What date of expiry, date of storage, so this should be indicated on that. So label should be provided because of expiry, identity and storage. It also takes care about the documented inspection, cleaning, maintenance and calibration of apparatus. Okay, so it takes care all these things in detail. Next is the test system. In test system, it takes care about the physical, chemical and biological. In physical and chemical, it takes care about the apparatus. I had already told you. Apparatus that it should be suitably located and of approximate design and adequate capacity. So that is the location, design, capacity. Okay, so all these things are in physical and chemical test system. In biological, it takes care that there should be shops for housing, feeding, handling and care of animals. So it takes care about animals also. It takes care that all newly received animals and their health status should be checked regularly by a veterinarian. Okay, so these are the test system responsibilities. It takes care that date of arrival, okay, apparatus date of arrival, condition, what is the condition of that, pest control agents. So all these it takes care about that. Okay, so that is the fifth principle, that is test system. Now the next principle is test and reference substances. what are the reference substances, what is the test system, why we have to follow that. It takes care that it provides the date of receipt. Whenever a equipment is provided, so date of receipt is provided for that. Date of receipt is provided, expiry date is there, that already told you that labeling should be there on the product, handling, how to handle that product, how to store that product, sampling that product. So all these procedures should be identified and followed. So that is the reference substances. SOPs I had already told you, standard operating procedure. In SOPs it takes care about the routine, what is the routine of the personnel, inspection, cleaning, maintenance, testing, calibration. Okay. So when there is a equipment failure, so actions should be taken. It keeps records, reports, storage, mixing, and retrieval of data. Okay, so all these it takes care. So in SOP, whenever there is a deviation from SOP, whenever any personnel deviates from SOP, standard operating procedure, it should be documented and acknowledged by SD. SD meant study director and or principal investigator. So study director or principal investigator. So these two takes care about the whole process, whole system, that whether the system is followed correctly or not. So the next principle is performance of study. Next is the performance of study. In performance of study, it takes care that the study plan should be made. Study plan should be made and should be followed. Whenever there is a deviation from the study plan, it should be described, explained, and acknowledged by the study director or principal investigator, like in SOP. Okay, so principal investigator or study director, it acknowledge the study plan also. Next one is reporting of study results. Reporting of study result, it includes the final report. So the final report should include, firstly it should include that the identification of study, test items and reference items should be there in the report. Secondly, information concerning the sponsor and the test facility. Thirdly, it includes the dates, expiry date, date of receipt. Fourthly, it should include the quality assurance program statement. Fifthly, it should include description of test method. Sixthly, it should include the result. And seventhly is the storage, where the equipments are stored. So these are the reports, final report. This is the ninth principle. Next principle is storage and retention of records and materials. So there are total 10 principles. The 10th principle is storage and retention of records and materials, where it should be stored and where it should be retained. So the records and materials should include the study plans, raw data and samples. Secondly, inspection data and master schedules. Thirdly, standard operating procedure, which procedure should be followed. Fourthly, maintenance and calibration data should be there. Fifthly, if there is any study material is disposed of before expiry, the reason should be justified and documented. Okay. Sixthly is the index of material should be retained. So the index of the material should be retained. So these are the 6 points which included in the 10th principle, that is storage and retention of records and materials. So thank you so much and keep watching.